Hey, my name is Randall Spillane. Thanks for tuning in. And today, you're seeing this video most likely on TikTok, and I'm going to talk about how there's a little bit of a conflict between being able. It's much easier to record content, to film content, and even distribute content than it has in the past. But I almost think that even though your phone can be used as a camera to record content, it's also a distractive device. So if you, let's say Instagram is your main platform, for example, and you go to record a video on Instagram, before you know it, you're answering DMs from friends, you're scrolling, checking out different Instagram stories, and then you got to go get on with your day. So even though the phone is easy to record with, how can we limit the distractions so that we can at least get the content created? Because we haven't even got into the part of feeling like your ideas aren't original enough, you're not persuasive enough, you're not interesting enough. When you do your content, you're not good enough on camera. We haven't got into any of that stuff. We're just talking about, yes, it's easy to record with your phone. And yes, it's also easy to get distracted when you're using your phone, because we're trying to create content for social media. But once you go onto social media, especially from your phone, it's easy to start scrolling, looking around, getting distracted. So how can we use this? And part of this is what I would say is the first topic that I'm interested in, and also a problem that I want to solve is, and I'm going to use my Randall Spillane accounts for this, my personal brand accounts for this. I'm actually really interested to see how this pans out, because I have a lot of knowledge of different softwares and integrations and things like that. And I think I'll be able to teach and educate and share on different parts of that. But I think just to start things off, I think I just need to start with, how do we limit the distraction and publish more content? I think that's like the bigger question, like the in terms of the order of operation. I think that's a bigger thing, because then all the software integrations for distribution, editing, all those different things are not relevant if there's not content getting created in the first place. All right, so thanks for tuning in. Thanks for hopping along on the ride here. I'll be curious to see how I grow this audience from scratch. And if I were you, I would definitely take advantage, because I'm growing this audience from scratch. I'm actually going to be pretty accessible, at least in the early stages, because you're seeing this on TikTok. At the time I'm recording this video on TikTok, I have 0 followers, and I have 0 followers. So if you drop a DM on TikTok, I'm going to see it, and I'll do my best to answer it and give you a helpful answer. So I would definitely take advantage of that. As my audience grows, it's probably going to be harder and harder to do that individually, one-on-one with everyone. But I'll try to communicate and be honest and authentic about what I believe I can provide from a one-on-one standpoint. But part of the benefit of doing media is that the incremental cost of reaching one more person is not that much, right? Like, it costs money to produce the media, whether it's money, time, resources, opportunity cost, whatever the cost is, there is a cost to produce the content, but then the incremental cost to reach one additional person is little to none. So, I'm not talking about paid ads. Paid ads probably a little bit different in terms of cost per click or cost per customer type stuff. I'm not super well versed on paid ads, but we're going to be doing this from an organic standpoint. If I see an opportunity to use ads to like, whether it's Instagram Boost or TikTok ads or anything like that, I'll try to communicate what I'm doing, and you can learn something from it. All right. So thanks for tuning into this one. Give me a follow on TikTok to see the home base of where everything's coming from. And then slowly but surely, I'll be adding different platforms, and I'm planning to add them all under Randall Spillane. I did a little bit of research, and it looks like that handle is available on most platforms, whereas Randy Spillane is not. And yeah, I'm not even going to get into all the creative name ideas that I was playing around with, because that's just something I like to think creatively. But one of the challenges of thinking creatively is that you're thinking creatively. It's really hard to finish things, because that's why a lot of times you have kind of the balance in a business relationship. You have someone who's the creative thinker, and you have someone who is the finisher. So it can take some of those creative ideas and then finish them, act on them, finish the idea. So yeah, I'm excited to see what comes from this. And also I've been wanting to do my own profile independent of business. I mean, it's likely that if I provide so much value that different things I talk about will lead to paid consultations, paid audits of like, hey, like how can we improve our social media distribution or improve our on-camera presence, our content. But I'm actually excited to use my Randall Splain platforms to talk about truly things that interest me. Like I'm a big fan of watching movies, so I think I'll just bring in I'll bring in movies. I also I played a few sports when I was younger, but I think I actually have a really unique understanding of how to swing a bat, and I have to thank the Fraser brothers. You might not know who they are, but one of the Fraser brothers was played in the MLB for about 10 years or so. The other two brothers, also very good, played in the minor leagues, just all around really great athletes, but they had such an understanding of how to teach hitting. It was really impressive. And I was able to learn that kind of towards the end of when I was playing baseball. But I also think that there might be some videos where I just say, hey, you have a kid who's in Little League right now and trying to get them to improve how they hit, watch this video and they'll improve. And that might, it's funny to even say that, to like say it with such assurance, but just something that I've experienced, that there's certain things in a baseball swing that, it's easy to make them complicated, but if you make it simple, but not too simple, because there are some things that it's, because with the baseball swing, people will say throw the hands, like throw your hands at the ball. And I think most coaches say that, but the way the Frasers taught it, they almost taught, like they would still use that phrase, but they kind of had their unique spin on it. And I think that actually might be something that we could talk about when it comes to branding, is what's the obvious thing and then what's your unique spin on it. So it's obvious when you're trying to coach how to teach baseball, like throw the hands. That's what everyone says, but not everyone teaches hitting very well. So why is it that when someone says throw the hands, someone else says throw their hands, the way they implement it, the way they execute on it, the way they have a nuance take on throw the hands, why is it just better? Why does it get better results? So definitely a huge tangent here. I basically just want to test out how much storage my phone can take, because if you record for too long, the video won't save at that. It'll just delete the whole video. So I'm actually recording. I think I'm almost at 8 minutes now. I'm going to end this video now, and I'll just keep testing the limits. I'm also intentionally using my old phone. Remember I talked about the distractions? I use my old phone. It's not connected to my messaging apps. It's not connected to my DMs. And I figure that even though the camera might be not as high of resolution as my newer phone, I'm thinking that as long as I use a pretty good audio source, that'll make up for the noticeable difference, the discernible difference. All right, cool. So we'll talk to you in the next one. Tune in on TikTok at Randall Splain, and I look forward to doing this. All right, let's rock.